Have you ever heard of a come as you are party? It's an impromptu affair, a last minute get together. The host says, Don't bother getting all fancy, just come on over now. Well, there's a spiritual lesson or two we can pull out of that. Hey, whether this video just popped up on your feed or whether you join me every morning, welcome to Mornings with Bishop Robert. Thanks for joining me. I'm really grateful you're here. My goal is to introduce people to the Jesus they never knew, then help them get to know Him and His Word personally and better. If our time together today speaks to your heart, let me invite you to like, subscribe, and also share with a friend. Well, the previous lives of the children of light form a list of really disgusting attributes. Sexually immoral folk who took unfair advantage of the weak. People who made idols out of anything they loved, from jobs to riches to physical pleasure to 1,001 other things. Adulterers who abandoned their marriage vows and often their families. Men who practiced homosexuality and women who abandoned natural affection and became consumed with lust for other women. Thieves who take what isn't theirs, often by force, causing both physical loss and emotional turmoil. Greedy people, drunkards and addicts, revilers, persecutors of the faith, swindlers lying to benefit themselves. And that's just Paul's list from a couple verses in his letter to Corinthians. You and I, we could spend hours listing the nasty ways our lives were messed up before Christ entered in. Now, sometimes friends will throw an impromptu party and invite guests to come as you are. Don't worry about getting all dressed up. Those can be fun. But no believer I know would enjoy being invited to a come as you were party that highlighted their sinful past. But God's grace is amazing. He alone has the ability to change hearts. Left on our own, there's no sure pathway out of a life controlled by addictions, abuse, sexual deviations, and other destructive behavior. I've known people who didn't want God to intervene. They just wanted out of their cycle of destruction. Possible? Yes, sometimes. Not always. Today's verse says, He called you out of darkness into His wonderful light. Not long ago, I saw a post from a couple friends of mine, now serving Jesus, but formerly trapped in a life of drug addiction, prostitution, and lots of other crimes. So the guy was holding one of his many booking photos. He looked like the typical meth head. The gal, well, she was holding the alluring photo of her from years ago that used to be posted on the escort site that employed her. Today they look nothing like their former selves. And in their posts, they were talking about being freed from a life controlled by sin, sex, drugs, a life totally out of control and spiraling towards destruction. But they got called out of darkness and brought into Christ's wonderful light. These two, they didn't need to be accepted and affirmed. They needed to be loved enough to be set free. I know men who were trapped in homosexual sin. They were miserable. God set them free. Now, they enjoy normal sexual relations in a marriage relationship, man and a woman. And they've got a peace in their hearts that's restored them. I know men who were trapped in a pattern of adultery, almost destroyed their marriages. Then Christ stepped in. He changed their hearts. He delivered them from their destructive behavior, restored their marriage. and protected their children from a devastating divorce. What an awesome God. I know former prostitutes, former murderers. Heck, I know former terrorists, former, well, lots of nasty things. And God called them out of darkness into his wonderful light. All of them set free. And I could go on, but the point is made. God takes us out of darkness and into the kingdom of his light. Hey, let me wrap up with the same illustration I started with. Because one day, you are going to be invited to a come as you are party. And Jesus will be the one sending the invitation. You're going to find yourself standing before him. And if you're still trapped in the kingdom of darkness, that's where you're going to spend eternity. But if you've accepted his invitation, if you're among those that he called out of darkness into his wonderful light, well then you and Jesus and the rest of the people in the kingdom of light, we get to spend forever together. I was once in darkness. Now I'm in light. Can you say that? Or are you still trapped in darkness? Jesus is the light of the world, and he can bring you from darkness to light. Message me if you want help with that. If you know Jesus, can I ask you to help me introduce people to the Jesus they never knew? Help them get to know him and his word personally and better. Would you please like this video? It really will help more people see it. Then click follow or subscribe so that you and I can get together every day. I'm happy to send you a free copy of my book, Count to One, God's Plan for Christian Unity. I'll pop it in your inbox if you just click that link in the description. And one more thing. Would you please share this video, this one, with a friend today? Because as you do, that makes you part of the team, touching hearts all over the world with the love of Christ. Thanks for helping.